about my sweat equity?
Sweat equity. Sweat equity.
My sweat equity. My sweat equity. What about my sweat equity?
I'd be remiss if we didn't do a hottie toddy right in the beginning of the episode.
Don't
just
have to.
Just
You
to
don't have
piss
to do
Eric
it.
off.
You don't have to do that.
Rob Cressy is on the blower. We're doing this via Zoom, so apologize.
There he is.
A little delay action. Let him hear your voice, Rob.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Rob Cressy, Bacon Sports. Why don't you send all your plugs out there? We'll do it at the top of the show so I don't forget and we never do them.
Cool. So for me, I'm very much about community building and fan engagement. So I love hearing from people. So I know that the episode that we're about to deliver is going to be straight fire. So because of that, I want to hear from you. You can hit me up on all social media platforms at Rob Cressy. I host a myriad of podcasts, one about sports betting called the Sharp 600, one about sports and technology called the Game Day Playbook, and one about sports marketing called the Sports Marketing Huddle. So find me on any of those or baconsports.com.
And we got together because we had a mutual friend, Beth Miller, that we've both worked with in different capacities. And she was like, this guy's your brother from another mother. That's how we got connected, 4 years ago. And it's fun to see your trajectory with your shows, with your several entities you're working on. And if you're watching this on video, Facebook.
Rob's head is not as big as Law's, though.
It's not.
Not
no.
even close.
No. But when we met, he had long hair like mine, and it was very
optical
very
illusion.
spooky. Yeah. And we're both in digital, into nerding out on sports. And if you look at the background of his studio, really good interior design because it's cheap. You can get old baseball cards, just old basketball cards. I think I see some in there. And that kind of makes a good motif of a studio wall behind you.
100%. And that's actually a tip for anybody who wants to be on video is the attention to detail of what's behind you. Because it drives me nuts when I watch Sports Center and it looks like the guy is doing it from a Motel 6. And I'm like, dude, come on. And all you have to do is take a little bit of intention. And for me, it was a DIY project. I had to figure out how to do it. And really, it was just some painter's paper, some spray adhesive, and then did one vertical row, one horizontal row. And then I was like, oh, man, let's just boom, 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 boom.
Mm.
So it was like 6 giant sheets of all my cards from when I was a kid.
Well, that's how Eric didn't pull out the Donruss box, but he did.
I got him somewhere, baby.
I've got
around here.
I've been thinking about this too. I'm saving mint condition Donruss 1988 boxes.
Mine are tops.
But
yeah,
you're the tops, But I'm saying, do you think they're gonna be like? Our sons are gonna be like, baseball's gay by the time you try to give it to them.
No, they'll be like, what is this piece of paper?
And then
it won't be gay baseball. It'll be just why do you have this? What is this garbage?
I just don't want to give it to him because then it has no value, right?
Make him earn it.
Yeah.
The thing he doesn't want. Yeah.
Well, what's the value of free? It's zero, right? I always point this out in the show. I had a boss that pointed it out all the time. He never wanted to give a free discount. He wanted to give he'll discount a little bit on something, but he would go, we're never giving anything for free because it's never going to be realized. And it's 100% true. If you've ever been to a free comedy show, I can tell you they're the worst crowds because it's entitlement. A lot of them leave too.
Yeah.
From my act, mostly.
Well, yeah, you did it yourself.
But I'm saying,
you made fun of yourself now.
Those baseball cards where you're like, oh, well, here's a Beckett's guide. And I'm going to give it to you like it's almost famous, where it's like one day you'll be cool. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where Zooey Deschanel gives it to Cameron Crowe or whatever.
You know too many weird movies.
Almost Famous?
That's not weird.
Almost Famous,
no.
Completely not weird. One of my favorite movies ever. Law, I'm going down the track with you on that.
I apologize.
Because we're bros.
I should have prefaced.
So many references.
I should have prefaced.
Yeah.
He's always quoting these 80s movies that his dad made him watch or something.
No.
That I don't know.
No one made me watch them. I had to watch chick
Not
flicks.
Almost Famous.
I had 2 older
I'm
sisters.
just frustrated.
I watched Golden Girl reruns. I watched Lifetime. Baxter, what's her name? Baxter Murray. There's the one chick that's in every Lifetime movie. I had to watch all chick shows, and then I had to like go back and retroactively like watch Terminator 2. Like
Right.
all the cool shit that I didn't get to Die Hard. I didn't see that stuff till I was like high school, late high school. So anyway, I'm saying the background looks good. I'm always amused by like Eric did the studio and kind of got in that same realm of like, how do we do a cost-effective way? He found these foam tiles that you can do. Now I see a lot of people copying it, by the way. I've seen a lot of studios doing this.
Yeah, it's a.
They copied your style.
Studios.
But we were like, let's put a TV in the back that has has at least the logo or something changing, and that's pretty simple. A lot of people will ask about how to do a podcast with video, and it's like they overcomplicate it.
Less is more,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. What's so how? I'm going to ask you for the 40th time because I've asked you offline a bunch. How do we get on LinkedIn Live?
So here's the thing. LinkedIn Live is something that months ago, I started just seeing people popping up on LinkedIn Live. And I went to the link that I believe I sent you that said, here, submit for it. And what I did is I actually put thought into the pitch for them because I had already built out a strategy for LinkedIn because for 2+ years, I've been all in on the platform. I've grown my brand there to the point where I've got over 20,000 connections of people, and I've got a big strategy for it. And I saw the opportunity. So I was like, listen, the second I get this available, I've already got a multiple day a week show that I'm going to be building out. And I'm going to be like, we're talking about entrepreneurship, personal development, mindsets, habits, and routines. And boom. So that's how I rolled in with it. And then just one day, it's like, you have access to LinkedIn Live. And I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. And I like to comment in a snarky way just because I know it, even though I hope you never read that as like, man, fuck him. Like I always write a comment, even a snarky one is better because at least it'll show engagement. It'll increase the amount of people that see it. So when I've had people where they think I'm fucking with them, I'm trying to write something quick. I don't want to write like something just, I don't want to write a zero.
Beautiful.
This is great. I don't want to write that. I want to write something that at least creates some kind of engagement. And some people, I know you probably don't get it, but a lot of people think I'm messing with them when
I've got a background in comedy, so I, of all people, understand the way that you and I get down. And here's the thing about this. Now, I'll give you a little trick that I used when I used to be on Facebook, when it's like, oh, the happy birthday. And I would go through and try and like wish everyone a happy birthday. But here's the thing. You know what's the lamest thing in the world? Getting 900 happy birthdays from everyone.
Means nothing.
Nothing stands out. So instead,
Or HB.
I would be like, here's your birthday card. And there is a baseball card of whatever, Albert Bell or who knows what.
Ooh,
and
that's a
what
pretty
you're
good one.
doing is you're being different and creative. So remember, doing one thing is always better than zero things. So the fact that you did something as opposed to just hitting like, you gave me a comment. So boom, you're already good in my book. And then you're doing something different. And that's branding 101 for the way that we all get down.
Yeah, I got to put like a Fleer digital card in the comment now, like a Paul Konerko or something.
Do you ever see the Billy Ripken one?
It works like a charm.
You ever
It does.
You ever see Billy Ripken's baseball card that has "fuckface" written on the handle of the bat?
Really?
You know? You never seen that?
No, I got to look that up.
They just let it right through.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be, I mean, everybody's so ripped up on Coke probably back in the day.
Fuck it, let it through.
Right.
Cares?
What were late 80s probably?
No, I like that.
What's Bill?
We have other ones without it, but I like that one.
Billy Ripken fuckface?
Yeah.
I mean, that is the card among all cards because you could not, put it this way, I never had one of those cards because it was hard to get back in the day. There was no internet. You had to go to the shop, and that thing may have been more expensive than one of those Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. rookies.
So you do have one?
I do not have.
Oh,
I've never
okay.
owned it.
Okay.
No.
Bill Ripken, 1989 Fleer. It says fuck face on the butt of the bat, like the little round part. If you're not familiar with how bats are done,
By the way, do you think Cal Ripken did that to him as his brother, knowing that it was going to be the photo shoot day? He's like, "Oh, I'm going to mess with my little brother."
Yeah, that
was
would,
he the
yeah.
evil brother? Because I feel like Cal Ripken's got to be the nice one. And but
Yeah.
I heard actually, it wasn't Cal Ripken kind of a sociopath of sorts. Like it came
Well, to
out
play
later.
that many games in a row, I mean,
Right.
he's obviously
Control
ignoring a
freak.
lot of family issues and things.
Yeah, he's like, "What? We're having a kid? I'm not leaving."
Right.
You know.
But I'm the Iron Man.
I'm always interested in the guys that are leaving like football games to go see their kid be born. I'm like, I think you got to go 1960s on it and just be like, no, I got to go to work.
Yeah. Theoretically, you could have more kids than play football games.
Look, we
in
know
the
Cromartie.
NFL.
We knew Cromartie wasn't showing up because he has like 5 4-year-olds when he was doing that list of how many kids he had. He was banging one year, but that's why we went over. Eric got his vasectomy, and you can't do anything right afterwards because that's what happened to Cromartie. Just FYI.
What?
Thank you for that.
What did he do?
knowledge.
He opened up his stitches too soon. Because he was either playing with himself or someone else was playing with him, and you got to let it ride. And Eric really was gilding the lily there.
Yeah. I
What,
got away with
48
it.
hours?
Yeah.
You're supposed to wait like 3 days at least.
You know,
Do
she had
you
to have
know
it.
the number one time for men to get vasectomies in the course of the year? So if you were to look at the year and there's like the largest majority of men do vasectomies at what period of time?
Valentine's Day
Yeah, I'm gonna say
or
because
Christmas.
January, February are the most for divorces because it's post holiday season. We did this for some advertising campaigns for a moving company because we were like, all right, we're trying to find a digital ad commercial for each month, and so we were like, oh, we should do one for divorced chicks that need a moving company.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out January, February, most divorces because of post holiday. So I'm gonna go with that as well. Yeah.
That would be incorrect because what I believe you failed to think about is what do you do post vasectomy? You said you can't do anything for 2 or 3 days. What would be the most ideal situation for you to do nothing over
March
2 or 3
Madness.
days? March Madness
That's what
is the answer.
That was my plan last year.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You
See,
talked about.
I
Here
was
we
like, I want
go.
that
You
first.
sit around and watch basketball all day.
I
It'll be
want
great.
that first weekend where you have nothing but games on. I have the option to get into it if I want or not, but I want to be like a fat slug for 4 days. So I can't believe I'm bitten by my own wiener snake here.
Yeah, you knew it. You knew the answer the whole
I
time.
literally on this show was planning it out last year.
Yeah.
And
Still
now
hasn't
There
got
we
it.
go.
I still
Still
haven't
no
gotten it.
vasectomy.
I lost my deposit. Well, it'll happen.
I
one
feel
day.
like you tricked me into getting one,
Yeah.
and
My
now
whole
it's a
plan-
big rib. I've been talking behind my back. All my friends.
Yeah.
Can't believe Eric fell for it.
Eric fell for it. Yeah.
Idiot.
It could be worse. That's what you have written up in this studio now.
Yes. It could be worse.
So,
Let's not forget it.
so give us some. I can see that you're working on something where you're doing something once a day on Instagram or on LinkedIn. I can see you're talking about having better habits. What's something you've learned recently? I know you were big into the 5:30 wake up and read. Eric convinced me about the 4:30 wake up, and I'm spotty at both, but I've now taken both y'all's advice on that. And getting up early, no one takes that time away from you, which is really what it is. And that's kind of how Eric positioned it when I was like, oh yeah, no one can take that workout away from you because no one gives a shit to be up that early.
Exactly.
So here's been the big game changer recently for me, and is to think of your mornings like a boot sequence for a computer. That there's certain things that you want to do to get the computer to be a computer. Well, we're the same way, and it just so happens I reboot myself every single morning. Most people don't, and I think a very simple way to think of this is New Year's resolutions. Most people set a New Year's resolution, I'm going to go to the gym. But how often are they reading, here's my gym goals every single morning and stuff? So what I've realized is, all right, what is the ideal boot sequence for myself to be the best version of myself and to be the person that I want to be. So included in this is I do visualizing and meditation and gratitude and affirmations, but it's a series of things that keep me consistency to my dreams. So that's one of the things that I say. It's like, this is what my dream is, and these are the various things that I read every single day. Because so often we have goals, but then sometimes you like forget about them or you don't care about it. But for me, every single morning is like, boom, I'm reading this. And then when I go down to the affirmations, a big thing that I've learned in the last month and a half or so is the phrase I am. Because when you declare something about who you are, then you make it more real, and even more so when you actually speak this out loud. So I am a master of energy and time. I am flexible and fluid. I am positive energy. So I read a series of these, and actually to help give some context, I'll actually just read exactly what it is, because I think it will help others with understanding this a little bit better. So
Do you call the I am the Yahweh? Thank you. Yahweh means I am. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I call this my good box, and this comes from a book by a guy named Weldon Long called The Power of Consistency. Highly, highly, highly recommend this book. Because essentially what he just says is most people don't achieve their dreams because they're not consistent at keeping it top of mind. So he's like, I want you to create a good box in your head every single day that says, hey, here's all the good shit about me. And for me, here are the things that I have created that I read every single morning. I have complete faith that everything will work out. Money flows to me abundantly every single day of the year. It is easy and fun for me to make money every day. Abundance flows through me. Everyone is better off for having interacted with me. People meet me and they want to work with me. I'm a badass destined for greatness. I have a 10x mindset in all areas of my life. I'm the happiest person on earth. I'm a positive influence on everyone. I'm a masterpiece of health and strength. I am worthy. I am positive energy. I am love and kindness. I am creative flow. I'm flexible and fluid. I am scalable. I'm relaxed. I'm giving, and I'm becoming the man I am meant to be.
So you say these out loud.
Awesome.
You say these out loud in the morning?
So I actually read it. So right now I'm doing a 30-day challenge called the Live Hard program. That's part of something that Andy Frisella created. And as part of it, I have a 45-minute outdoor workout every single day. And I do that first thing in the morning. So I realized, wait a second, I can do two things at once. I can do my outdoor workouts and my boot sequence at the same time. So now it's like 5:45 in the morning. It's cold as crap in Chicago.
You're in
It's dark
Chicago,
outside.
yeah, Jesus.
And I sit there. I'm wearing gloves, a hat, got my jacket on, and I'm sitting there and I'm reading the consistency in the good box to myself. And I even added an emoji at the end of every one of these affirmations to add the visual side of things.
Well,
They're they're all eggplants.
so just this morning on Netflix, I was watching. It's called The Goop Lab. It's like Gwyneth Paltrow's show.
Oh boy.
Just
She
started
had-
watching that as well.
Well, I was watching the one
Did
on
we get those candles yet?
Wim Hof, which is the guy who does the cold exposure, which I've been doing for 5 years now.
Yeah.
I was getting in the pool this morning. Like that.
you're
That's
gonna be
something.
like-
If you're really into you should check this guy out because it's a legit game changer.
Oh, I know all about Wim Hof. So
Awesome.
for me, I've been using cold water therapy for the last few years because I learned that from Tony Robbins. So
Yeah.
for me, when I get in the shower, I turn the water on cold. And the reason that I do it is to work on courage. So I think we would all say that we would like to have more courage in our lives. The thing is, I'm not going to sit at a four-way intersection and wait for an old lady to cross the street and almost get hit by a car for me to be like, let me show you my courage. No, you want to say, hey, how can I microdose courage? So, you know what sucks 100% of the time? Cold water.
Exactly.
Every single time I've gotten in the
I hate it.
shower, cold water is cold. So it takes courage to turn that bad boy all the way to cold and even sit there for 10 seconds. So what Tony Robbins recommends is you yell courage. And it's a very simple way for me, 10 seconds a day, to microdose courage in my life. And oh, by the way, there are actual physical benefits to it, but who cares about that, right?
Yeah, you said it way more way more better than I do. Like I'm always like, it just makes you feel awesome and you're badass.
You're gonna
Microdose of courage. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, and what your body's doing on the physical side is it's reacting to a shock almost. Like it's fight or flight. It's doing self-preservation. So thus, I guess that
it's stuff that we don't have happen to us anymore.
Right.
And we kind of need to build it in.
Especially we're in Florida. You can walk outside and probably just be out there right now for Chicago fucking. Sorry, man. For 6 months of the year, it's rough.
Yeah.
And I've been there on Tank Top Day when it's the first day of spring out there, and it's like Midwestern pale titties galore because it's like it's the first like people go nuts. They drink all day. They're playing that
and all winter.
That weird Chicago softball where you have no gloves and you play with a huge ball. What's that called? Have you seen that?
I've never heard of that.
16-inch.
Yeah, so they have a 16-inch ball, and you don't play with a glove.
Okay.
Okay.
It feels like a big softball.
And but it's like it's something that if you've never been up to the Midwest during like when it's nice, you'll never see it. Like I never knew it existed until like 10 years ago, and I was going around doing Zanies over in Old Town.
Zanies.
The Zanies Comedy Club. Be there check out this slate. When you go up there, you do Tuesday to Sunday.
Oh,
rough.
Those
at least
prime time.
You do one show a night, and then I think I did a slate where I stayed for 2 weeks opening for people. So I was there every night except for Monday, and I think I took a Monday to do a headlining set. That's when you're youngry, as Raheem Morris, the old Bucks coach, used to say. But yeah, man.
Deep pull.
Yeah, that was a really deep pull. That was deeper than Yahweh, I would say. But I would say the thing with the cold shower is I look at it more like do something you don't want to do.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
I say the cold shower is even harder than an ice bath in terms
it's slow.
It's constantly changing. You're constantly getting hit with different parts of the water. It's still cold coming out. Like you can kind of equalize in a cold bath or whatever.
I have to shadow box if I do the cold shower. I heard there's benefits to shadow boxing in the shower.
Yeah, I mean,
like
the idea is mind over matter. So just kind of go in your mind and do it in there.
I heard comedian Dan Soder talking about just sit in it sometimes. Sit. You have to sit in the pain either.
Exactly.
He was talking more mental, but sometimes with the cold shower, I think part of it is just sitting in it and having to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. So I'll add some even more context. So I'm doing the thing called the Live Hard Mental Toughness Challenge, and there's a 75-day one and then 2 30-day ones.
I live girthy.
And on one of the 30-day ones, I had to take a 5-minute cold shower for 30 straight days. And I've been microdosing like the 10 seconds, 15 seconds. But the 5-minute, when people see that we've got to do this, it really freaks you out. So I'm like, all right, what's your mindset going to be for taking a 5-minute? And this isn't like, oh, it's lukewarm in here. This is as cold as this thing goes where there's still water coming out of it.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I got to create a strategy for how I'm going to do this because one, I'm not going to do this like a bitch. So what I immediately thought of was Jocko Willink, the badass Navy SEAL guy. I was like, all right, how would Jocko do this? He's not going to go in there and be like, oh my God, this water is so cold. No, he would go in there like a man and he would take it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to channel my inner Jocko.
He fucks the water.
But that's not enough.
The water doesn't fuck him. He fucks the water. That's how it goes.
Exactly.
The water bounces around.
That's how I go into it thinking I'm about to make this water warmer.
The dude's the
right. So
scariest
now
man on earth.
I needed music. So I always had music in the shower anyways. So I played Bob Marley 30 straight days in a row so that when this freezing water is hitting me, I am dancing. So if you can imagine this, it is as cold as humanly possible. And I'm singing, everything's going to be all right. And it almost became sadistic in a funny way because I would laugh at how absurd it was that I was doing it. But here's the thing. I would do it every single day. I'm dancing. And I'm like, you know what? I have to train myself to have fun in this 5 minutes of cold shower any way I could. And you know what the biggest thing that I've learned from it, that I still continue to learn, and Law, you mentioned how cold it is in Chicago for like 6 months of the year, and I'll even go on top of that. I am so grateful for warmth. It is ridiculous. Because when you take a 5-minute cold shower, the second that thing goes off, I'm like, boom, done, warm water. And you're like, oh my God, I am so thankful to have this warm water.
Makes normal stuff seem awesome. I love
Which
this
is what
guy,
we
by
need
the
more
way.
of in life.
Yeah.
This guy's awesome.
I'm
Rob, you're-
surprised this is the
that-
first
I love-
time
I
we've
know.
had y'all
Like, dude,
on the same. I know
you're
Rob's
right
done,
up my alley.
Rob probably did the podcast 3 times before you started co-hosting on it, and yeah,
Back
those
in
are
the
the
day.
dark days.
Ah.
But yeah, it's one of those things. It's doing something you don't want to do, something that makes you uncomfortable every day. I'm sure your wife thinks you're a nutbag, but she knew that going into the deal. But I don't know how does she see it? Because you're stepping it up. Like from when we first spoke, first it started with waking up early, and now you're upping it with all these other kind of, call it habits, call it life hacks, whatever the fun phrase of the year is. You're gonna be the best you, whatever that was last year, I think. I'm just trying to live my best life. That was it. That was 2019. I heard a lot of women saying that. I think Oprah said it or something. But what does your wife think about it? Because that's something I would forget. I forget now because I'm rolling solo dad life. So, I'm in that kind of goldfish area where you're only kind of living, you're expanding as much as you are by your surroundings a little bit. I forget it's also nice to have someone there that thinks you're weird. Because then it kind of goes, no, this is kind of fun. I want to show you that it is working, kind of thing.
It's a challenge because, remember, I wasn't always like this.
Right.
Even 7 years ago, put it this way, there's been several seismic shifts in my life and mindset. One of them being 7 years ago when I quit my advertising sales job, where I was making multiple 6 figures to go all in it, making my dreams happen and starting Bacon Sports.
Yeah.
So I immediately went from 6 figures to $0 overnight. And I was like, shit.
That goes
I
well
gotta
with
learn.
wives. It's fine.
Right. I got to get better. So all of a sudden, this is where, like you said, Law, I started reading, getting up a little bit earlier. But then all of a sudden, I started getting these other influences in my life, the David Goggins of the world, the Jockos,
Be a hard
the Grant
motherfucker.
Cardones, the Jesse Itzlers.
Discipline's
these people who are
ultimate
doing
freedom.
things-
Go 10X. I was trying to get, what's the last one? Jesse who?
Jesse Itzler.
He's the Atlanta Hawks owner.
Yeah.
I can't think. I almost had a quote for all of them.
I don't know.
David Goggins is be a hard ass motherfucker. How do you do that? Jocko's discipline's ultimate freedom. What was the third one? Grant Cardone is 10X your life. And then Jesse.
Jesse has so many. Be a different brownie is one that I think you would like. So
I'm a honky,
I've
though.
got all of these digital mentors that I've created, and I see the things that they're doing. So I start stacking this stuff, and I start getting around to other people who are like-minded. And then it really became becoming the best version of myself, but not in the Pinterest way, but more in the get comfortable being uncomfortable way. And I want to have a family one day. I don't have kids yet, but I want to make sure that everything that I'm doing right now is for my wife and for my future family. So the challenge in all of this becomes I take this on myself in terms of I'm going to get this shit done. So I do it first things in the morning. I'm very disciplined about this, but it's not necessarily, discipline isn't sexy. Most people don't understand it, but it's something that's going to continually compound for me. So when it comes to my wife's side of things, yes, she's 100% supportive. Number two, I don't expect her or anybody else to live like I do or do like I do. I don't judge people for not doing what I do because it's not about other people. It's literally only about me. And it's sort of almost one of the philosophies or the ways that I see the world is that I'm not concerned about anybody else because, as we all know, it's hard as shit to run a business. It's hard as shit to do all of these things, these big dreams. It's hard to be a comedian, Law. So all these things that we want to do, I can't be worrying about what other people are saying. But at the same time, I'm willing to do things for others, even if they may not see the immediate benefit right now. And maybe it's going to be 10 years down the road when all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, how did we get here? And I'm like, remember those cold ass showers I was doing 12 years ago? Yeah, compounding.
Yeah, and that's it's marginal gains. You know, it's I always think about the intrapersonal relationships that are very close. That you know, you try something out. Eric's got 2 kids that are what are their ages? 4 and
7 and 4 or 5. Basically.
Yeah, so you know, and you got to deal with that in a household with the other stuff you're doing too. It's, you know, we want to be like the dads that are like, tell us how this goes when you have kids, like all that shit. But you're really doing something. I think
It'll be different.
I think both of us wish we started that way earlier before we had kids, because if you figure out how to make this a part of your life now, it's much easier later on, which I think would be the advice for anybody listening out there. If you don't have kids, you want to do that side hustle, you want to do that business, you're working a full-time job you hate, and you want to start something on the side, you have to develop that kind of those calluses of that discipline of like, I worked in a mutual fund company when I was 21 until I was 24, and I would be in there 10 hours a day in Santa Monica, which is I had the ocean view from our office, which is also the worst thing because all you want to do is run outside. And I'm stuck wearing business casual.
Rub it right in your face.
And then immediately after that, I would either go on Mondays. I'd go to the improv class at the Groundlings for 3 hours every Monday. You had to drive to West Hollywood. That's an hour and a half to go 10 miles. Cool. And then while I was I'd drive out there, go, all right, let me write some jokes or listen to a podcast about comedy. And then every other night I was doing stand-up. So it's like, and the nights I didn't have a gig or an open mic to go to, I'd go sit in the back of a room. And that was my life from 21 to 24. And basically, anybody listening, I was telling someone this the other day. They were asking, like, how do you get into it? It's like, you just have to fake like you're obsessed with it. Like, I'm into whatever I'm into pretty hardcore, but I can get really lazy, and you can get pretty complacent pretty easily. And so being obsessive is one thing. I have to fake being obsessive sometimes, and then that'll actually make it there.
Well, it can be about attention. Put your attention towards things that you want to flourish.
Yeah.
And that's, goes back to waking up earlier.
Yeah, and the waking up earlier is huge.
Everything.
So what let's where are we at? This is about
we about wrap it up.
All right. Anything you want to leave us with? I feel like you've got a lot of stuff you've been working on lately. But anything that you find interesting that you want to impart with our audience?
I do, based on something that you just said. So I love hearing your hustle about your early comedy side of things, because I believe the hardest part for most people, almost all people, is the start of something. How do I ... And I get it all the time. Rob, how do I do this? How do I do this? And there was a quote from someone, and I don't even remember who it was, but it was a game changer for me. He said, Rob, if you ever hope to get paid to do what you love, you better be doing it already. So I think about what you just said right there, Law.
Yeah.
You wanted to become a comedian. So you're doing open mics, you're sitting in the back, you're doing improv, you're learning everything. And so often we think that it is reaching the top of the mountain where you're like, look at me, I'm on this billboard as the thing we're going for. And sure, that's nice, but everyone, Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, everyone had to pay their dues. And at one point, they didn't know how to do it. And if you ever hope to get paid to do it, you better be doing that already. So just start doing the stuff. And for me, the big thing for 2020 is going to be, I'm building out a digital university about personal development, habits, routines, success mindset to help other people, because they say, Rob, how do I ... Even think about the number of things we've talked about on this podcast. We can chop that up into micro videos and say, how do you work on courage? Boom, here's this video. How do you get the job of your dreams? Boom, do what Law did right here. And I'm going to build this repository to help other people, because when I looked at entrepreneurship or people who want to pave their own way in life, I don't really see the resource of where you would go. School doesn't teach these things. Like, school's not like,
No.
All right, today we're going to talk about courage or waking up early. And these are the things that actually matter to success. And it doesn't even matter what you do. You could say comedy, sports. I want to open up my own farm. all of these take fundamentals and mindsets and discipline to make sure that you show up every single day to do the things to help yourself be successful on a short-term and a long-term basis. So that's what I'm excited about for this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, we all three of us get excited about something that it sounds very it doesn't sound super sexy. It's discipline. It's like, hey, I like talking about short-term, long-term goals and doing them at the same time. It's tough, it's hard, but it is doable in a lot of ways. And sometimes, but it's talking about it's great. No action, it means nothing, you know. Well, that is all we've got time for. You've got a 10:30, so we want to make sure we pad that because it's almost 10:15 in the morning. But you've been up for 5 hours already, so, and Eric's been up for 6.
I have.
Yeah,
like,
I've been up longer.
If you knew, like,
I got up at
I even
8:30.
thought to myself, I literally did not have a second, but it's in the best way possible because I designed that. And actually, I'll leave you with a quote from my Brandon coach.
All right.
And he said, live by design, not by default. And what that means, I want you to design the life that you want. Design your morning, design your afternoon, design your evening. Law, you are designing the way that you want to live. Hey, you're working that job you didn't necessarily like, but you know what you did design? I want to become a comedian. Here's the ways that I'm going to do this. So often people live by default. They just go through the motions. Instead, take a few minutes and say, man, what do I want in life? And design that bad boy.
Yeah, we talked about creating time to create time. So that's my tip for a lot of people that want to do something. It's like you got to sit down and figure out how to, how to find time in your calendar. Just having time management is probably the key to a lot of it.
Yeah.
All right.
I
dude.
agree. Thanks, Rob. Good talk, man. I liked it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
What about my sweat equity?
SweatEquityPod.com on your FM dial. Tune into the biggest balls of all TV. So, T-Nuts.
My sweat equity. What about my sweat equity?